In this special three-part series, we look at the ways in which technology is used in the classrooms in Neepawa Collegiate and Neepawa Middle School, both as part of a specific digital curriculum and as part of the everyday classroom. In part 2, we continue our visit to the high school media program to take a look at individual projects. And as well, we have a conversation about advancements in technology, its integration into the classroom, and pedagogy in relation to this influx of new technologies. With technology advancing as quickly as it does, situations often arise where teachers and students can learn how best to use it alongside one another, even in a classroom setting. In the final part of the series, we will move on to Neepawa Middle School to look at how technology has changed the way students interact with learning materials and how technology has also changed life for teachers outside the classroom.
Hi, I'm Liam.
And I'm Yves, and this is our project in this class about coding, and it's called computer science.
Take me through it.
So in this class we were designed to design a robot and use have a coding program called Arduino to get it to move and be functional. So as you can see, we've designed the robot so that when we use this controller, it'll move in certain directions.
And is that just a DualShock controller?
Yeah.
Okay.
You can just grab a DualShock controller you can even buy your own, or just you'll have one at your own home.
Let's see it move.
We can get it to go forward, we can get it to go backwards, as well as get it to turn left and forwards, and as well as get it to turn right and to go backwards.
So what do you use to program this, to make it?
We downloaded a software called Arduino onto our computers, where we were able to set up our coding system to plug it into this part here, which is what's connected to all the moving parts. So for the coding part here, we set it up here where this is where everything starts. When we press the green button on the little box here, that's what initiates everything to start. And for this code here, these two codes is what we input into the Arduino, and that helps receive the connections from each stick to get it to move forwards and backwards. And then for this part here, this is where if anything happens to the controller, like if it runs out of battery or it turns off or dies, it completely shuts off the motors so that it might not crash and you might damage your robot.
Right. Or whatever the robot runs into.
Yeah. We can also get it to move. We can give it different tasks as well without having to control it with a controller.
Okay.
We just have to input a different code, which we can open up here, which is also set up, and then we use a cable here to connect it from the Arduino software and into the box, which then registers the coding into it.
So what's happening now? What are you doing?
Right now we're uploading the code that we had up here on the sketch of the app, and then it'll travel through and it'll install itself into the Arduino box. And now that it's set, all we need to do is press this green button here and it should get running.
And what code is that?
This is for it to avoid obstacles. So if it senses any obstacles from the front, it'll change direction and keep going.
Beginnings of a Tesla, right?
Yeah. And for this to be possible, we had to connect a sensor up here at the front that can detect anything in front of the robot.
Yeah, so what was actually used to construct the robot?
Lean, you want to say?
Yeah. So we followed These instructions provided for us by Mr. Vasquez, and yeah, and he has all the parts over there. So it's pretty simple. We just need to make sure to follow the instructions properly, and yeah.
And you'll do a video of you explaining the code, yes?
Yep, that's what I was about to pull up here.
Great. Which could then teach other students when they're stuck
Yep.
how coding's supposed to be used. Perfect. Just building community, passing forward information. Good, awesome.
Great, thanks. Anything else you want to share with me about what you've been working on? And any technology tools that you're using in the classroom?
What will happen with this now that you have the talent module attached to it? What will we be doing at the final?
We'll be able to control and battling other people's robots with it.
Should we battle?
Yes, sir.
We're
So-
gonna attach like arms to it and put spikes on it, and yeah,
And
it's gonna be cool.
BattleBots.
Yeah.
Basically battle bots.
And we'll attach the balloons and see whoever defeats
Good luck,
the
little
other
guy.
one. Thanks, guys. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Chardimin and I took Mr. B's 3D animation class. So this is my floor plan for the project, and this is my finished project. I got an outside library and a pool, and I can show you inside, but I have this screen recording that can like show you. Oh, sorry.
A tour.
So this is the hallway. This is the bedroom. This is the kitchen, and the sala po.
The dining room and there's the living room.
Yeah, that. So we're going to the living room.
So from paper to 3D modeling,
Yeah.
a dream house.
So what software is used to create that?
I forgot. I'm sorry. Wait. It's SketchUp. So this is the dining room. I made 2 bathrooms.
So how do you go from like a sketch to this? Like what is the process to get there?
Oh, I didn't think about it too much, but I was supposed to build like a second floor house, but it didn't work, so I just made like a tall house, and then I made the stair just to go up.
So you just basically used inspiration from the sketch and then went straight into the software
Yeah.
with it. Okay.
Did you use any resources like floor plans from other houses designed and then compare them to?
No. I think it would take me much more time if I went to like compare it with the others.
Did
So-
you look at any other floor plans?
Well, yeah,
Okay.
but I think that it was just 2 words.
Okay.
So this is like the closet for the bathroom. So you can just change in here.
That is a dream home.
Looks great.
And so the details that are in there, is that part of the software? Like they have assets that you can insert?
Yeah,
Okay.
I can show you.
Yeah, that'd be great.
So you're just gonna
Like if you wanted a second toilet, you can grab and drop a toilet in there.
Yeah, yes. you're going to the warehouse and just search whatever you want. And then
Okay, and then you can.
you pick one, download it, and where is it?
I probably dropped it somewhere. It's in the yard or something. So you
Everyone
can
needs a
add
yard toilet.
An outdoor toilet. It's a pretty complex design, so maybe also buffering.
Yeah,
Oh, there's the toilet.
on the roof.
On the roof.
What?
Oh, technology.
But basically, so that'll have the dimensions of the toilet. You have to sort of insert it in there in a place that's going to fit, and
Yeah.
so it is a very complex thing to design.
This was really hard too, because it was my first time doing like something more digital.
Is design something you're interested in?
Well,
Not anymore.
no.
Were you happy with your end product? Did you like what you designed?
I think no.
I don't know. I'm pretty keen on that walk-in closet. I like that one.
It's
I
pretty
wish
impressive
it
house.
could be better, but I didn't have any more time. Because like it was the end of the semester.
I think you did amazing. And I'd
It's
be
very
so
impressive.
excited- I'd be so excited to see if you had more time what you could do. Really well designed.
And then you can just like move them wherever you want.
So you can drag and drop elements.
I think the pool was like the best part of making it. Yeah, that's,
Okay.
That's great. Thank you so much.
Thank
Thank
you
you.
so much. Appreciate that. Well done. Okay.
thank you.
You're good. You're good to go.
So you were able in a typical classroom,
Yep.
and this is maybe not a typical classroom, but in a typical classroom, you have your smart boards.
Right.
Is that basically standard in a classroom now? Is to have that?
These smart boards?
Yeah.
Yes, they were, and they're going to be coming in the near future. An upscale large monitor that you can manipulate. So it's an older technology,
Yeah.
right? So there's going to be the next generation of big, huge screen TVs that are also touch, which are already part of our school in some classrooms.
Okay.
But I imagine,
That's the next standard coming up is going to be.
yeah, the classroom itself. So if I ask it something like, computer, turn lights blue,
Okay.
and it just turns. Computer, turn lights white, and it does it. And then little things that'll happen as when you would come in the beginning of class, there was a warning for students to start class and then to end class, but it wasn't caught on the camera. So when specific to the time of the period, students will get a warning, but it'll sound like this.
Warning, warning, warning. Phones away. Make sure you are logged into Google Classroom. Ready to rock and roll, oh baby, let's go, go, go.
So the students will see that and they'll hear it, and that'll cue them. So then they're not very little anxiety in regards to, okay, is class starting, is class not starting? It's pretty well set that when they hear that warning, then the students put away their phones. Whereas, if I didn't have that, there are times when students don't know when to put phones away, and it just makes things just a little bit simpler.
It's very easy to get distracted, lose track of time, right?
Right? And then at the end of class, every day you'll hear something like this. Actually, they'll hear this.
Warning, 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 5 minutes left. You know the drill. Have a good day. Let's go, go, go. In Neepawa, it's 18 degrees Celsius with clear skies and sun. Today, you can look for intermittent clouds, with a high of 21 degrees and a low of 14 degrees.
And then it comes back on, and then they know they're transitioning to the next class. And it's like something like I was saying a little bit earlier with the decision-making fatigue. So I know one of the past presidents of the US, Obama, had believed that he was asked how many suits does he actually have. And he said he has 2 suits, blue and black, of what I recall in the book that I was reading. And it was just because of the fact that he would apply his mind to the most important decisions. So he would have 2 color suits, not think about that, which wasn't really important in the overall scheme of things. And when I do these little things in the classroom, technology helps me to be able to have and afford those students a little bit less of this decision fatigue and apply that powerful mind to the tasks versus when is the class done and things like this. Real simple. Yeah, so that's the classroom. And then as well, because it's really important, I think, when people understand and can see, because they haven't been in the classroom. So this would normally be the light in the classroom from 8:30 till 3:30, but you can feel that it's just a different feeling in the classroom, right? And then as well, it's it's just setting the ambiance properly. And generally what'll happen is, I know with music, there are different types of studies that say no music is important to learn, some music is important to learn, specific kinds of music, instrumental with no lyrics, energizing music and is to be used at this time. And I think you'll hear in the overall scheme of things where students do want to hear some sort of music just to inspire, motivate, and relax. So specific to your learners, I think it's important that I know in my classroom I do play instrumental music with no lyrics. I also play upbeat music with lyrics that are familiar when I need to energize students, but it's very much this whole science of how music affects your performance and or your learning. Neuroscientists like Andrew Huberman has all kinds of experts on his podcast that I really find interesting. So
I mean, it's good for things like anxiety reduction as well.
Huge.
Yeah.
Huge. And there are specifically different tracks that are to reduce anxiety. You play this specific track, and we can talk about that later. And there's one that will play for 10 hours straight for, and it's over, I think, 28 million hits on this one that will reduce anxiety.
Yeah.
Just play it in the background.
Yeah.
So little teacher tools that are technology, right? So interesting.
And do you see the effects of these in your classroom? Do you see like just this working with your students?
I think I know, and I've heard when courses are done, completed in this classroom, I hear students will say quite often, I miss the classroom. And I say, hey, what? And they say, yeah, I miss you too, Mr. B, as a teacher. But they miss the classroom because then it's just a completely different ambiance, right? And there's a comfort. And once we're relaxed and at ease, there's just so much learning that students can achieve, right?
And it seems to me that you weren't able to do it today because we were filming, but students are able to use the resources in this classroom on their own, like for their own projects.
Yeah, many a time, especially coming in from middle school to the high school, and there's that all of a sudden we've got access to computers in this specific course every day, and so there's a lot of scaffolding that's starting in the beginning of the course, and I let them know that through their academic career, these tools that they'll learn can be used for the majority of courses, from the photo editing to the sharing of files to improving, influencing, researching any of their core subjects to improve them. So lots of that, and just even the organization of their drives that they have in the high school. Those things that you and I had learned back in the day about email, those protocols and how to CC and all this kind of stuff, I think sometimes it's lost. And I think even the things that we take for granted that we know how to use, I think it's important that teachers always make sure that they're checking in on those students. I know our population is changing in Neepawa. Lots of new people coming in from out of the country. And I think it's important that things with technology that we take for granted, other countries actually, they're a little bit behind. So it's important for us to make sure that they're supported that way.
And a lot of people coming in are young people. They're going to be coming into the schools and bringing it home with them as well.
Oh yeah, and with technology as well, I think it's important that my belief is you give a technology to a student, you facilitate their learning by sharing a software program, and then from that, as my room says, every master was once a beginner, like on my walls and stuff. I think you give them this tool and they're gonna run. And as long as the teacher can let them run and not tether them back, I think like what you've seen in some of the uses in today's just sharing, it's pretty mind-blowing what these young learners can do and impact our community. And I just think if we could afford them that ability to like risk take, and it's okay to make mistakes, and show it at my teacher, for myself. I mean, even I'll laugh at my mistakes when I'm doing things, and I let them know it's okay to make mistakes, because just that anxiety piece is just like, look, teachers are human, first off, and if we appear real, which we are, they start building that trust. And I think with technology especially, sometimes there's that misnomer that the computer course is too difficult, the computers are hard, I don't know how to code, I'm getting stressed. I think if we can demystify that and slowly build up their confidence, they could really do some pretty amazing things. Right?
It was really interesting to see when we went around the projects that these are all very practical projects. They're very creative, but they're also very practical. Like this, they're making something that's going to get used.
Right.
You know?
Bringing in the real world.
Yeah.
So I know this year with our NACI website, potentially, I think our NACI website has some good information on it, but if we upscaled that website maybe to the next level, it could even be better than our current one, which is doing a good job, but we could upscale it.
Yeah. And maybe next year's class tackles it again.
Right, and do another one, or businesses in our community. I know in the past we've had some people design new websites for new businesses.
And I'm sure there's plenty of nonprofits in the community that would love the help of students to do that kind of thing. I think there's no end of projects that could be brought forward.
Right, giving meaning to assignments and projects using technology. And they could, when I was teaching geography actually this past year, early in the year, we had them redesign the sidewalk system in Neepawa. And so they really isolated the importance of where I need to have sidewalks on one side, two sides, up the Banana Hill, that big steep hill there. I mean, they wanted a sidewalk there, and I didn't tell them where to place them. They were like feeling an importance. You know what? I need to be safe. I think it's important to have a sidewalk here, and they redesigned it using technology. Yeah. Right? Importance in our community. So.
Was that shared with the town, by the way?
That was not yet shared with the town, but it was done in the first semester. Yeah. And there were some really great designs.
Just because it's something they're looking at making the town more age friendly, which involves making sure there's sidewalks.
Yeah, and that's one of the projects that where in the past I believe this one kind of project could be done a certain way, which was effective. I just thought bringing real world, bringing Google Maps, bringing all the technologies to show 3D movies of the place of our geography. Yeah. Then it just impacted them a different level, right? Just continuing to. Technology is always changing, so you have these kids come to these courses and they're like, Mr. V, can we do this? And I'm like, let's try it, let's explore. And that's the risk taking as a teacher, to not think that you need to learn faster and know more than all your students. No, it's just learning together at times. It's like, show me this technology, let's learn it, let's research it. And I think that's just critical.
And I think some people talk about technology making people more isolated, but in all of these examples, these technologies are allowing people to work together. They're allowing you to try new things in the classroom because some of them are open source projects.
Oh, exactly. And I also, to add on top of that, I think it's important, as I've learned through the years, that technology can also isolate. And in that way, I think we all need to be very aware of when we're teaching with technology, that I purposely will say, okay, we have these computers in this classroom, we're going to use one monitor. I'm just telling you, we have double monitors, but I'm saying, let's use one computer, let's work together. Computer, stop. Sorry. Technology. And sit beside each other. Because I think sometimes with technology, we've lost touch with each other because it's relied upon just to Snapchat somebody fast, text somebody, and no words are shared. I think it's really important that the voice is used. And I know, and my students know in the courses that I teach, that I want to hear them talking. I really encourage them to speak to each other, not just send them an email, share a document and not say anything. I want chatter.
Yeah.
And let's continually build that person with technology as well, right? So it's critical. Building people,
Yeah.
right? Helping to build people. Our future, right? They are our future.
Yeah.
So
I have one very basic question,
Yep.
because knowing our viewership, these are people who didn't only not have whiteboards, they had blackboards, they had green boards. So tell me how Google Classroom has changed the way classroom teaching happens.
I think a very loaded question. I'll say
Yeah.
saves the environment, just as far as you could argue, because there's no paper. When I use Google Classroom as a delivery system of my curriculum, that's one. I think that being able to allow students information that can be very intricate and detailed, and quite a few resources in a few clicks, and they have access to that information on their phones, on their laptops, away from the classroom. I think that allows them to stay in touch with any tasks or projects or assignments that I assign. It affords them that luxury that if they miss a day from school because they're sick or whatnot, or appointment, that they can still not miss what I taught. And I also think Google Classroom and just our G Suites that we have in our school board allow them that luxury of sharing information simultaneously, like you saw with several of these student sharings, that the drive in the cloud really helps these students, support them. But as teachers, I think it's an invaluable source that I could just deliver my information fast. They can access it when they want to outside of the classroom, and it's always there for them when they want. So it's a luxury.
And every student has a login. They can get into the system.
And
they can access their classroom.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's just it's still luxury, and we're very fortunate. And we're very fortunate to have our technology in the school board, the Chromebooks and the laptops, and yeah, we're very fortunate. I think sometimes that's missed.
Yeah.
You know, just that gratitude that, you know, not every school has computers.
Yeah.
So I think we're very fortunate that way. So, yeah.
That's great. Thank you so much. Is there anything else you want to add before I shut her down?
I think the most important part is just to make sure that there's a balance between technology use with students, balanced with that human part of just being a good person and using technology to aid and support each other versus have it being used and isolating, and sometimes using technology, and students actually don't build relationships because of technology. It could in fact sometimes deter it. So just be wary of technology. It's beautiful, it can be amazing, but it also could be detrimental if it's not used properly. So I think it's important. Artificial intelligence, it's out there. We're going to learn from it. It's going to be part of our lives. So just respect it. Yeah. Respect technology.
Thank you so much. Thank you for all the time you've given me today. That's been wonderful.
I appreciate that. Thank you very much.